I'm Twila.
And I'm Natalie.
And you're listening to Twila and Natalie.
We're going to chat with you all about the joys and the pitfalls of being a grown woman in our little mini show that we're doing based on topics that we have thought up or that we've heard about from our listeners.
Yeah, so we're just going to sort of pick a topic and see where it takes us.
Mm-hmm.
So the question today for you is, what's the first thing you notice about someone?
The first thing I notice, really off my gut reaction is it's people's faces, because that's what I'm looking at.
Really?
You know, yeah. And I look at expression.
I don't look at people's faces. I don't. You would think I do, but I don't. I genuinely don't.
But specifically,
you know why? Because that means I have to
looking at their package.
Okay, we can get sexist about it later. That's kind of accurate, but we can get sexist about that later. No, I don't like to make eye contact because then people want to engage with me, and I don't do that. So I don't look at people's faces when I'm in public. Very rarely.
I look at their faces, but specifically I'm looking at expression because I'm always curious. I'm always looking at how people, do they have resting bitch face?
Oh, okay.
Do they look like they just smelled something stink?
Yeah.
I try to always be conscious of when I'm walking around, even in public, that I have a pleasant face on. Because
sorry, I'm not laughing at you.
No.
I'm just thinking, you I don't do that.
You are in a constant state of I'm going to kill you.
We really are.
But because there's so many times where somebody has said, "Oh, I saw you at so and so place, but I didn't want to stop you and say hi or whatever." Or I hear them saying, "Oh, I saw so and so," and they look so upset. Yet they never engage with them. So I'm hyper conscious of how am I look? What is the energy I'm putting out when I'm walking even down the street? Which is also why I don't pick my nose when I'm doing that, because people are looking.
Of course.
We live in a world where
I just don't pick
someone
my nose
always sees you.
Yeah. Why would you? You're going to wind up on YouTube or Facebook or something if you do that. Don't do that.
I know.
Okay. See, now I'm cognizant of what's going on all the time because I'm always hyper aware of what's going on around me all the time.
Yeah.
But I also don't like to engage.
Sure.
Most of the time. So
but most people aren't looking at you anyways. And
they are.
Coming from
That's
someone
annoying.
who I'm looking at people. How come nobody's looking at me?
You know what?
When I look,
see,
they're looking away.
See, I would be happy if they weren't looking at me.
See, you know what it is, Twila? You're the person I'm looking at. I'm the engager. So I'm looking at you to see if you engage, and you're looking away. And most people probably do that.
And I'm about to be the person who pulls out their phone and calls her sister and goes, "Okay, you know what I don't like in Target? When people in green shirts with glasses on
look at me,
stare at me." I do that. Honestly, I do that a lot.
Oh my God,
I do that a lot. If I feel like you're like way up in my business or you're following me around the store or whatever, I will do that in a heartbeat. My sister's had so many voicemails of me being like, "You know what I hate in the grocery store? When somebody is lurking in my cart when she could just go buy her own doggone wheat bread." And then I'll like spook them off and they'll walk away. Like I've been notorious for doing that. And I don't like to engage with people. So that is like, I will see you in profile, but unless I have to talk to you, I'm not looking you in your face. It's not happening. I usually notice your shoes first because I'm usually looking down.
Yeah. And this is men and women.
Yeah, I usually notice. I usually notice what you're wearing and what your shoes, or I'll be looking to see if you're wearing something cool. If something catches my attention, I'll be like, "Oh, that's cool."
Yeah,
I notice tall people because I'm not tall, so tall people always get my attention.
Yeah.
Okay, and then like I said, I told you eventually we get to the sexist part. I will be perfectly honest. I notice beards and mustaches.
Why is that sexist?
Because I really like them.
That's not sexist. That's an appreciation.
No, I'm just being sexist about it. I'm just.
It's not
them.
sexist.
I'm ogling.
That's
my husband can't grow one, so he can't. He doesn't really grow facial hair. So
I know, but it's like admiring, architecture. You might see a house and be like, "Wow, look at that house. That is a really nice house."
I'm gonna do that next time I'm in the mall. I'm gonna be like, "Wow, look at that beard. It's a really nice beard." I'm gonna say it out loud.
Yeah.
Yeah, like with no shame whatsoever.
Yeah, there's a difference between that's a really nice beard or that guy looks good in that beard versus, I want to sit on his face or something like that.
Yikes! Where'd you go? That just went from 0 to 7,000.
But that's what I'm saying, though. I feel like that's what you're equating it to, and it's not that bad.
And I thought we were going to make it through like 10 whole episodes of these without an explicit tag. Wrong again.
I'm saying it's not like that. It's not like that. I think you're likening it to you being ogling and doing it like that. But no, it's an appreciation. You look and you're like, that's a nice beard.
Okay.
Just like I really like that girl's makeup, or her hair looks really pretty. It's okay. I don't feel that you are really truly ogling, and from a like,
okay, so if
I want to lick your face.
So if I look at them, it's fine. If I walk up and like pet them, that's different.
Yes, that's
okay.
different.
That
different. Takes it to more I want to sit on your face.
Okay,
you got to back it up.
Stop saying that.
Yeah. Too explicit.
We already got the tag. We can't take it back now. It's now. It'll be what it'll be in the episode now.
Yeah, but you get my point though.
Okay, do you notice?
I think it's different.
Do different, like if you're looking at different genders or different age groups, do other things stand out first? Because like I said, I don't notice. Like I think I notice men more in public because I'm looking at like if I like facial hair or something like that. Like I notice things like that.
Mm-hmm.
I think I spend a lot of time. I think I spend a lot more time noticing women than men because I'm always like, oh, that outfit's cool.
Shopping,
or,
I know.
Yeah.
I do the same thing. I think it depends on where I'm at. If I'm in a place that's really busy or I'm in a place that is not, actually even in my neighborhood, I'll look and I'll notice and I'll look to see if it's somebody that I recognize, but I'm also looking and assessing any potential threat. I feel like the Terminator. I see a guy coming at me, and all the chart drops down in my brain.
I'm calling shenanigans.
Yeah, and I'm like, does he look like a mugger? Do I think he's going to mug me?
I'm calling shenanigans because if you see somebody and they set off your alarm bells on any level, you do not do the term.
I check first.
I do the Terminator.
I don't know if they set out alarms. I have to evaluate.
See, I do the Terminator scroll with everybody, and it's not the part where they do the stats. It's the part where it's like, how do you neutralize them? It's like throat.
Yeah, but you're already going on the defense. Right. I'm saying I'm evaluating each person I come in contact with.
But this is why I'm calling shenanigans.
You're already working out your assault plan.
Right, but this is why we're different. Because I would see that person, I would immediately start figuring out how I can neutralize and take them down or avoid situation, get out of the situation. You would immediately assess somebody. You would try to figure out what their facial expression is saying, and probably within 5 minutes you would be talking to them about their life story because that's what you do. Friend. So you don't you don't have the same warning system that I have. You have your warning system is more like the emergency test system we hear once a month. It's it's there, and you just you hear it. You'll be like, oh, is that the tornado siren? And it should be warning you away, but then your immediate response is, "Oh, that'll go away." So how are you?
Yeah.
You just
on a scale from 1 to 5, how likely is this person to be my friend?
Right. You're you look slightly homicidal. You having a good day?
Did something happen in your childhood that made you this way?
Right. But you would engage.
Did you just get dumped?
That's you. You engage.
Did you have a controlling mother?
Yeah, I'm the opposite. I'm you look. Yeah, and especially if you look like me, I'm well, you look as mad as I do. I'm out of here. Because that means we're both volatile. It's time to go. That's usually my thing. I think I noticed I definitely engage with children differently than adults.
And you and I are very different that way. Because you don't engage them.
No, I sure don't. Because I think we forget so much of the things that we teach children. And then we think, well, I'm safe. So then you start trying to engage a child, and you don't realize that to them, it's everything a parent has ever taught them about stranger danger. So I try, even if I see a kid in public or I see a kid with their parent, I don't address the child ever. I address the adult and say, her dress is so beautiful. And then, and I'll go back and forth with the adult or I'll ask the adult, is it okay to tell her? Because they may be in the middle of teaching that lesson, or they may have just had a scary episode, or their kids painfully shy. Little kids are like that. I feel so bad when I see an adult try to talk to a child that they know that obviously they don't know, and the kid just curls in on themselves because they don't know what to do, and you've put them in the awkward position of having to engage with you when they don't want to. So I don't do that ever. I just don't.
I do all the time.
I know
I'm
do.
always like, hi.
You're
how are you? And then I say hi to the parents if I see them. But that's one place where you and I are polar opposites.
I know. And I had too many bad experiences with people, and it's my own fault because I had too many bad experiences with people trying to engage my children, not realizing that I'm their mother. Because there was a point in time where my children just physically didn't look like me.
They looked more Asian.
Yeah, so I got a lot of, nanny-esque commenting, or if I was trying to discipline my children in public and benevolent white people wanted to save them from me, it was, there was a lot of me having to be like, I am her mother, back up, that kind of stuff. So it's, it's probably more like PTSD for me to not engage with children just to be on the safe side.
Yeah, which makes sense.
Yeah.
And I think when I come across kids, one of the things, I look at them too for the same kind of facial expression curiosity, but I'm also always curious of whether or not they make eye contact, especially when you say hello. Because I feel that I feel like kids used to more do that.
That's a lost art. Yeah, that's a lost.
Yeah, because and I think part of the problem is the stranger danger. I want my kids to be able to engage and read a stranger. You know, it's the neighbors and uncles you got to worry about.
I mean, it's everybody.
It's the people they already know.
No, but I think, that's important. That idea of like the eye contact and knowing how to sort of read body language and read a situation it's difficult to teach now.
Well, and it's also to a degree, I think, like, I'd rather have my kids look somebody in the eye who's looking at them and be able to respond. It doesn't mean they have to engage, but also kind of backs them down.
Yeah, you have to
Not the child, the person who maybe might be trying to engage them inappropriately.
Well, it's like I tell my kids, they're allowed to go full howler monkey if something goes wrong.
That's right.
There's no
always
rules.
Scratch. Get the DNA.
Yeah, I always say there's no rules. You do whatever you, well, I told you I have one mini-me. And so as soon as I said that, the first time I tried to teach them that, the first thing she said was, so I can hit, right? And I was like, yeah. And she was like, and kick? And I was like, yes. And she goes, objects? And I was like, you've been thinking about this for a long time. You've been trying to find a way to ask me, who can you physically assault in the world? So,
I know, your mini-me child reminds me so much of Diane on Blackish.
Oh, yes, that is my daughter. That is absolutely.
I watched that show, I'm like, yeah, it's Twila's kid.
Yeah, that is my daughter 1,000%. It makes me super proud, but it is my daughter 1,000%. Okay, so I'm just realizing that I engage people a little bit differently, like when I notice things about people, depending on the situation that I'm in.
Yeah.
When I'm at something that's like a formal event or something, or somewhere that I've paid to be, like a concert, I am much more sort of focused in on people watching.
Yeah.
So I wind up noticing things because I'm looking to notice things, as opposed to like when I'm just going through my daily life, or even when I'm in work situations. I don't think I actively engage as much in work situations as I thought I would, in terms of like trying to notice people, to engage with people. Yeah. I still tend to sort of like lay back and let people sort of come to me.
Sure.
And yes, it seems really arrogant, and yes, it probably is, but I still do it. But like if I go to a concert or something, like I'm a little more extroverted than I normally would be.
That's funny because I go almost the opposite way.
Yeah, because you don't like, I
don't like crowds. So
you know what's
first I got to count the exits. And
you know what,
find out where I am.
Well, you know I do that. I told you and I never are at a place together where we don't know where the exits are. And we face
at least 2 ways out.
Yeah, and we face them. We don't sit with our backs to the exits. That's not. You got to see when it is. Somebody's coming in, we got to know how to get out. But that's funny because you and I have had that experience of being in public places together, and we do sort of switch roles when it comes to things like that.
Yeah, I kind of go more on the defense, especially if it's a place where it's, because I equate, party atmosphere with alcohol and people acting like fools.
Yeah.
Whereas if I'm walking through a Costco, not as likely that is going on.
That's true.
But when I've had uncomfortable experiences, they've been experiences in public with large crowds. And people who have been drinking, who think because I'm standing there in line to get something to drink myself that they can push up against me, just stuff like that. That inappropriateness. So then I tend to not. That's when I do walk around with resting bitch face.
Yeah, see, and that's funny because I turn into I really turn into the opposite. Like we went to a concert not too long ago, and I kept like noticing people were sort of dressed for the occasion, and under any other normal circumstance, I would never say anything. I would just think in my head, that's cool. Or I might compliment and be like, oh, that's nice. And I literally, every person that kept walking by, I was just like, that is so cute. Look at your shirt. Like I was talking to everybody. I'm sure even my friends were like, what's wrong with you? Did you drink earlier? Because that's usually not me. But once I get into sort of a communal, like we're all celebratory atmosphere, then I'm
when you're there for a common purpose.
Yeah, absolutely.
Versus, even though at the grocery store, it's kind of a common purpose, but it's more individual.
Wait, but I told you what happened to me at the grocery store, which is weird. Because I try to have resting bitch face at the grocery store, but people still talk to me anyway. And I can't really stop them from talking to me. So, like, I'll be standing there like, I'm just trying to pick out, tomatoes or whatever. And somebody will always come up to me and be like, oh, yeah, those are really good ones. And I'm looking at them like, I'm not talking to you. Yeah. And then they keep talking. And then they're like, I like to use in summer salads. And sometimes I make salads
because
out
you
of
made
them.
it. Are you sure these aren't employees?
No, they're not. I wish they were. I wish they were, because now I would just tell them to go get me like more fresh vegetables from the back, because I'm tired of picking at the brown ones. Yeah. But I mean, every time we go, as a matter of fact, it's why my son refuses to go to the grocery store with me anymore. He says, you talk to people too much in the store. And I was like, I don't talk to anybody. He goes, well, yeah, but people talk to you too much in the store. I was like, I'm trying to make that stop. I don't know how to get it to stop.
My kids used to say that a lot too, but it was me. Or I get diarrhea of the mouth, which I've gotten better at.
I am proud of you. You have.
I have gotten a lot better at it.
The fact that we made it through 40 episodes and we've only had 2 explicit tags tells me that you have. You really have improved. I mean, outside of today's hiccup.
Yeah, I've gotten so much better. It's something where, and I'm sure it's in large part my upbringing, where I have this compulsive desire to divulge, not things about other people, not in that regard.
No, you just like
but
to
I feel
overshare.
I need exactly, and like I need to somehow justify or explain what I'm doing. So I'm the person who walks out of the bathroom, didn't stink it up, but will stand there and explain to the 2 people coming in, I didn't do that.
Yeah,
that wasn't me. I just had to pee. I was grocery shopping. I had a coffee right before I came.
Yeah, you're like,
because I decided to splurge and get a latte because I make my coffee at home. I mean, it goes on and on.
Yeah, that is you.
Yeah, and then I'm like, just in my head, I'm screaming, "Oh my God, stop!"
Talking. Yeah, I know that is absolutely you. And I'm the exact opposite. I will come out of the bathroom, make eye contact with you in the mirror, like I wish you would say something, and then handle my business and get out. Yeah, like that's me. That's 1,000% me. So, I suppose. I feel like there's no advice we can give about making first impressions.
Well, I think it's, when you talk about what is the first thing you noticed about someone, I think the advice I would give is, just be aware of what you're putting out into the world. And it's amazing the difference it can make when you come across someone who just is pleasant. So even if you're not feeling pleasant, fake it till you make it. I know you disagree with me.
I was literally going to say, just mind your business. Life is easier when you just mind your business and let me mind mine.
But Steve, we need to be more connected.
No, honestly, I said I'm laughing at it, but I agree with you. I actually think you do. If you're more mindful of it, just go with your comfort level, but you can always be mindful.
Yeah, and if you're sitting there going, I don't know what I first noticed about people, then you're not noticing people. Open your eyes, and it gets us out of our own head too, in our problems and whether we're walking and driving. But notice, look around. You know what? Look at other people.
Well, not when you're driving, but yeah.
Well, you can look ahead of the road.
Yeah, please don't be like, Natalie told me to notice things around me, and then you hit another truck.
Yeah, all these people are at stoplights talking to the people next to them.
Right. No, I actually think that's a really wonderful sentiment. The idea that the world is going on around you, and if you just, you can stop and look and see what's going on around you.
Yeah, and don't contribute. Don't litter negativity,
Don't litter negativity.
Smile.
New T-shirt. Mm-hmm. You're very good at that.
That was a smart one.
It was, right? Okay, well, in the meantime, you guys, we'll be back soon with new episodes. You should go check out the Matriarch Digital Media website. It's matriarchdm.com. Twila and Natalie have a page there, and you can listen to previous episodes. You can now email the show, so send an email to hello@matriarchdm.com. And as always, we do this because of you and your support, so thank you so much. We'll talk to you soon.